Hi guys, welcome back to well, for us, a late video. It's obviously put on through the day for you guys, but I filmed this well, it's at 10:30, so I filmed this in the evening because we want to introduce you to this guy. So this is Cooper. I think one of the most gorgeous looking, for bringing down a bit there we go, one of the most gorgeous looking birds we've got, and Cooper is an Aplomado Falcon found out in the Americas. We've had him now for I think it's about 13 months. Strictly speaking, he's not mine. He belongs to one of my business partners. We're going to breed with him in the future. He was supposed to be breeding this year, or in a breeding area this year, but we've had a little mishap with Cooper. He is a great character. I've never had a little falcon like it, be it the kestrels or the red-footeds and all the larger falcons I've flown. I've never had a little character like him. He's such a chilled out, he's such a cheeky little guy. He's making a little bit of noise right now. He's a little bit nervous. I've only just taken him back up again. I've only just started working with him again. Because 13 months ago, we flew him free for the first time. Or I flew him free for the first time. And it didn't go according to plan, as it doesn't always go according to plan. His first free flight was just under 3 hours. Because as he took off, the wind picked up and he went up. And every time he tried to shut his wings to come back down again, he got faster and faster and faster. And then he got a fright, opened his wings and he went even higher. And that happened for about 2.5 hours. I never lost sight of him at that time. He was just up and down the estate wood line, trying to come back down again. And then he'd get so tired, he'd land on the top of a high tree, stay there for 10-15 minutes, then try and come down, get a fright, and go back up again. We did lose him, or I did lose him for about 10-15 minutes. I knew where he was, because we fly with telemetry on. We'll cover that in the video as well. But we fly with telemetry on, and we knew exactly where he was, because he disappeared from the estate that we fly on to the neighbouring estate. And what we didn't know at the time was they were lime mortaring. They were redoing the walls. And we now know that he landed next to them to say hello, and just literally, because of the top of a house, top of a roof, landed next to them. And needless to say, when we got him back, we didn't notice it straight away. It was the next morning we noticed his underside of his feet. He wasn't sitting right, so we looked under the side of his feet, and it was all black chemical burns for landing on the lime mortar. So we took him to our vets, and he was on antibiotics, some painkillers, anti-inflammatories. And that went on for about 4 weeks, and it wasn't getting better. In fact, it was actually steadily getting worse. So we took him to a specialist, a great guy. I believe it's Tom Bailey, absolutely fantastic guy, absolutely brilliant guy. And Tom operated on him. In fact, actually, if you see in these pictures now, Tom actually took a lot of the underside, actually the whole pad of the underside of both feet off. And this is a picture from about 2 months after the first operation. So believe it or not, it was even bigger than it was. He had no skin at the bottom of his feet. So we did that. So he had an operation. He went back a week or so later and had another operation. And we did that 2 weeks later, and we had another one. And then it was all about creaming, bandaging, and so on. Lucky for me, Tom allowed me to do that, because I've done it before on birds. Never did anything this small. But we went home in big hopes, because Tom's words were literally, the feet will heal if they want to heal. So we literally a year. It was just over a month ago now that we managed to keep his bandages off, and we no longer have to put the cream or anything on him. Because like I say, he is such a cool little guy. And for going through all that, and then coming out at the end of it, like I say, yeah, he's a bit nervous right now, but coming out at the end of it, trusting me more than anybody else is just fantastic. And that's what we love, or I love, about the Aplomado Falcons. We are still under restrictions for bird flu, so I mentioned that in another video. Or I've put the birds under tighter restrictions because where we normally fly, Golden Grove, or I think it's called Gately Ire Country Park, as the crow flies, we're probably 5 miles, 6 miles, maybe a little bit more, from a big reservoir. And if bird flu is going to come to where I fly, you'll find it's probably the reservoir that's going to get hit first with the migratory birds coming back in. So I've stopped flying the birds there. So I now fly them just actually on our neighbour's small woodland area. But we restrict them. They're all on a training line. Excuse me. They're all on the training line right now, because I don't want them to come in contact with any wild birds at all, just in case. I don't want to give the authorities any reason or any excuse if bird flu does hit the area to come and put the birds down, because that seems to be the big thing right now. So we've restricted what we do with the birds this winter, just for the bird well-being. So I've just picked this guy back up. I've just taken him back out of his aviary, or reclaimed him out of the aviary, and I'm going to start training him. And because we're obviously restricted, I still want to get him going, because come the start of the season next year, I want to have the birds flying. So we're going to do a bit of work with little Cooper here over the next few months. I'm going to film it, because I'm going to do things that I know people do in the past, and I've had friends that do them in the past, but I've never trained the bird in that kind of situation, or you'll see what I mean in another video. So I'm going to film it and just see how it goes. So it might be a complete disaster. It might work, but it'll give us a chance to exercise these guys. Give us a chance to get them flying. But also, before we get into any of that exercising, we've got to do the manning side of things as well. So we're going to cover that in another video, because I'm a big believer of manning, but we'll get into that in the next video. So hopefully you enjoyed meeting my little Aplomado Falcon. He is a falcon. I say he belongs to the falcon family, but he's so cool. He can fly very much like a hawk, i.e. to the glove, which is absolutely brilliant. When we were training him, he was coming like a rocket and using this massive big long tail of his to slow down and land in the glove gently. So as we know, or as I know, for the 2.5 to 3 hours he was out, he flies like a little falcon as well. But they seem to be a very loyal species of bird. So Cooper will be flying beginning of next season. Fingers crossed. We weren't lucky enough to get one this year. Fingers crossed the breeder that we are dealing with will get our female next year. And then Cooper will be flying with the female. Then we will put them in a breeding aviary, because I would love to breed these and fly them for myself. So hopefully you enjoyed meeting Cooper. What I think is the best looking, a little bit money right now, but the best looking falcon I've ever had. It even beats the red footeds I've flown. And my ultimate falcon, my favourite, the prairie falcon, for looks. He beats the prairie for looks. Not for flying, but for looks. So I'd say, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed meeting Cooper. As always, if you've not subscribed, please do. And also hit the like button, because that does well for the channel. That helps us get recognised as well. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Come and join us. Come and join our little group, or as I say now, our little kettle, which is a group of birds of prey. So come and join us. And, well, 10:30 now. That's a late one for me. So it's 10:30 now, and I'm probably going to do a little bit more manning with this guy for at least another 2 or 3 hours. So have a good night, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Stay well, and hope to see you soon.